The Burston Bears in the Dark by Stan and Jan Berenstain. Being afraid of the dark, being afraid of the dark doesn't just happen to you. It happens sometimes to little bears too. The Burston Bears in the Dark by Stan and Jan Berenstain. Brother Bear, are you going to take all day to pick your books? Said Sister impatiently. Sister and Brother Bear were at the Bear Country Library. Sister had already chosen her books and was waiting at the checkout desk. Hold your horses, I'm looking for a good mystery, said Brother. Sister Bear usually took out storybooks and books about nature, sometimes books of poems. Brother liked those too, but lately had become interested in mysteries, even spooky ones. Hey, this one looks good. Okay, let's check it out, he said finally. It looks scary to me, said Sister, looking at the cover. It was called The Case of the Crying Cave. Say, this is really good. Would you like me to read it to you? Asked Brother later that evening when the Bear family had settled down for some reading. Sister was looking at a storybook about three kittens who were arguing about which was the prettiest, and it was a little boring. Or are you scared? Teased Brother. Of course not, said Sister. She left her book on the floor and climbed onto the bench to sit beside him. The mystery began quietly. It told about some Bear Scouts who were on an overnight camp out. When the scouts discovered a dark secret cave, Brother's mystery began to get a little exciting, and the cave began to cry and wail, but it was anything but quiet. Ooh! Cried the deep, dark mystery cave, read Brother, with a lot of expressions. Ooh! Stop! That's enough, said Sister, putting her fingers in her ears, and she went back to her storybook. Scaredy bear, teased Brother, and that's quite enough of that, added Papa Bear, looking up from his paper. At the cubs' bedtime, Papa and Mama said good night, turned off the light, and left the cubs in the usual sleepy darkness. Outside the tree house, the bright, busy sounds of day had given way to the soft, soothing sounds of night, the quiet conversation of frogs and toads, the soft cry of the owl, and the sigh of the night wind. And if you listen very hard, you can almost hear the softest sound of all, the sound of lightning bugs switching their lights on and off and on and off, also known as fireflies. But inside the treehouse, Sister Bear wasn't even beginning to fall asleep. That night, the dark didn't seem the least bit quiet and sleepy. In fact, it seemed like the spooky darkness of a scary cave. And the friendly old chest of drawers and funny clothes tree that Papa had made didn't seem so friendly and funny. They seemed more like cave creatures. So when Brother decided to tease her a little bit more by making a wailing noise, a really spooky wailing noise, it gave her quite a scare. Ooh! Mama, Papa, hurry, come quick, she cried. And come quickly they did. Papa rushed into the dark room and tripped over the clothes tree. Mama rushed in after Papa and tripped over him. In the commotion, Sister fell out of bed and landed on both of them. Then Brother, who had started it all with his spooky wail, turned on the light. What a mess! Sister, still scared, was holding on to Papa, and Papa was holding on to the toe he had stubbed. And Mama was looking for the nightcap she had lost in the confusion. All three of them were pretty annoyed with Brother Bear. B- 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 busted! It turned out to be a very long night in the Bears' treehouse. Papa and Mama tried to explain that there was nothing to be afraid of in the dark, except maybe running into a closed tree and stubbing your toe, but it didn't do any good. Sister absolutely refused to go to sleep with the light off, and Brother positively insisted that he couldn't fall asleep with the light on. The next morning, the Bear family was very sleepy-eyed. Boy, I sure don't want to go for another night like that, said Brother, yawning. Neither do I, and I think I have an idea that might help, said Papa. He took Sister's hand. Come with me, he said. Where are we going? Sister asked. She wanted to know. The attic. Up to the attic, Papa replied. The attic? But it's dark in the attic, even in the daytime, Sister said. I know, but there is something I want to show you. Anyway, there is nothing so special about the dark. It's just part of nature, like the light. It's your imagination that makes the dark seem spooky sometimes, said Papa. What's imagination? Asked Sister. Imagination is what makes us think that the chests of drawers and clothes trees are cave creatures, Papa replied. Oh, I wish I didn't have one, said Sister. Don't say that. A lively imagination is one of the best things a cub can have. It's imagination that lets us paint pictures, make up poems, invent inventions. The trick is to take charge of your imagination and not let it take charge of you, said Papa. When they got to the attic, Papa began to rummage through boxes looking for something. Sister tried to follow Papa's advice and not let her imagination take charge. And it worked. A spooky shape turned out to be the shadow of some old tools. And what looked like a giant was really some piled up furniture. Here it is, my old nightlight, the one I used to have when I was a cub, and had a little trouble falling asleep in the dark, said Papa. Sister couldn't quite believe that her big, powerful Papa was ever afraid of the dark. Oh, sure, most of us are at one time or another, said Papa. How about reading the rest of the case of the Crying Cave, Sister? Asked Brother Bear later that day. Are you sure you want me to? Sure, I want to see how it turns out, she insisted. When it turned out that there was nothing very spooky about the terrible wailing noise, it was caused by the wind blowing across an opening in the roof of the cave, like a noise that you make when you blow across the top of a bottle. Sister was a little disappointed. And that night when she and Brother were all settled down in the cozy glow of Papa's old nightlight, she said so. I was pretty disappointed by the way the case of the Crying Cave ended. Why? Asked Brother. Because I was hoping that the wailing would be a really spooky, scary monster, she said, and she leaned down from her bunk over Brother's and made a spooky, scary monster face at him. Cut that out, cried Brother. Then Sister went right to sleep, but Brother lay awake for quite some time, listening to the owl hoots and thinking that maybe he had enough mysteries for a while. Ooh. The end.